Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 219. 219.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. We are not so fastly approaching 222.
Yeah, it could be a while.
Yeah. We had some thunderstorms before we started recording, and I felt like we could start with campfire lighting and be like, it was a dark and stormy night. And then I was trying to think of what my equivalent to a scary campfire story for knitting would be.
Oh, okay.
Your knitting started on fire. And then she discovered there were moth eggs in her 100% cashmere bin.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that the call was coming from the inside of the house moment.
Yes.
Maybe it's her husband secretly a knitter and he's been stealing her stash.
What?
I'll be like, the call is coming from inside the house.
Ravelry is no more.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know if I could handle that one. I can buy more yarn.
Yeah,
A world without Ravelry.
I was on the plane and had one of those gasp moments because I was knitting my sock, and one of my tried and true has been with me since I first ordered needles, Chaigus. Chaigu red, the cord just separated from the needle. Mm-hmm. So it was like, what am I going to do the rest of the trip? I had another one.
Okay, good.
Because I carried everything. I was trying to carry everything on. It was just a puddle hopper from Rochester to Chicago, just an hour flight. But didn't want to have to do the...
it's more like a 20-minute flight.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. And then Rochester is really easy to get through security and checked in, and everything there was zoom. But I had to gate check my bag because it was one of those where there was only 2 seats on one side and 1 seat on the other, and there was no overhead bin compartment space. So
no bin space. Dun, dun, dun.
And then the needles separated, but thankfully I had a backpack in which I stuffed my purse so that it could be the one personal item. And I had my go bag with all of my scraps to make the Wee OMGs that had the needles in it. And I was like, I figured it out. And then they figured out the call was not coming from inside the house. But no, it was kind of funny to imagine. I was like, the only way it could be a little creepier outside would be if it were kind of chilly, right? Like in October. Mm-hmm. That's coming.
It did cool off a good 20 degrees when it started raining.
It did. It was nice. And we got our light back up and running.
Yes. No more pop fizzle, we hope.
We're not daring you.
No.
This is not a personal challenge on our behalf. What else has been going on? So I went to Stitches Midwest, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. That was very fun. Hi to anybody that's new to the podcast that I introduced myself to. I was talking to a group of ladies at a table and felt very much like, I'm so sorry if I'm talking too much. And they were like, no, it's fine. We sit in it together and talk quite often, so it's nice to have a new hello,
somebody's new stories and new face, and
or somebody new to listen to our stories. But yes, I was like, I hope I'm not being overwhelming. And it was a good. I mean, it was a smaller market, I would say, than they've had in the past, but super fun. Went to the pajama party, which was hosted by Erin Lane Bags and Marley Bird. They had a little bit of, first of all, what happens at Stitch's Pajama Party stays at Stitch's Pajama Party, so I'm only allowed to tell my own stories.
Oh, okay.
But they do some lip syncing and like a lip sing off. And then new this year, they kind of had some active participation amongst the crowd. And so one of them was the twist. And like, my husband has taught me how to do the twist, and I feel like I'm a pretty good doing the twister. And so when they announced it, I kind of stood up and my chair kind of flew back. And then I like moved chairs out of the way so I could do the twist. And Amber and Susan were kind of like, oh, you're a serious, like they were joking, like, oh, you're a serious twister, aren't you? You're so serious. And then I won a prize. I told you. And then I felt totally justified, and I'm sure I was completely intolerable the rest of the night. Like, I told you I'm a good twister. And then I came home and I regaled my husband with my award-winning twist, and he's like, your twist isn't as good as my twist. So apparently there's like a male division and a female division in doing the twist.
Interesting story.
Yeah. Another really fun story was the AV guy had been doing Stitches Midwest pajama party, and he wanted to have like this group dance along, and he got up and led it. I can't remember what it was to now. All I can remember is the smile beaming from this man's face as he was looking out at the crowd and having all of these women do these moves that he had come up with that he wanted us all to do. He was just like beaming with pride and joy, and it was just so like, you couldn't take your eyes off of him because he was just so happy. It was like
he invented the Macarena that night.
Yes,
or something,
exactly.
Right? Like, oh, this is going to be the next big thing.
Yeah. So like me telling my grandchildren about my award-winning twist at Stitches Midwest, he will someday tell his grandchildren about the time where he led, hundreds of 100 knitters on a group led dance thing. It was fun. It was. I thanked Miss Airlane Bags for leading a fun night. So, cool. Yes. What's been going on with you?
Let's see. The Olympics have been going on. Been watching a lot of Olympics.
Yes.
And
so inspirational. Although, do they not make you feel like the oldest people in the world?
Oh, yes, because if you're 31, you're just...
31, and he's having trouble climbing out of the swimming pool, and yeah, I'm just like, if I hear about another 30-year-old athlete that they just can't believe is making a go at it, I'm just gonna scream.
I'm surprised he is not walking with a cane right now.
Yes, and I understand that, for Olympic level athletes that they peak, but I'm just kind of, or that woman, the 41-year-old that
gymnast.
I was thinking about the gymnast too, that won the bicycling.
Oh, yes.
Armstrong was her last name. I can't remember her first name. And then, the gymnast who's been doing it for just eons, right? According to them.
Yes. Well, I mean, we can all, go, oh, Walsh Jennings, she's 38. That's close-ish to my age. Awesome.
But no, they comment on that too, right? Like, the recovery is so much harder I'm just like, goodness gracious. Can't we just...
Not that it's not true. I mean...
I again, in my mind's eye, thinking of somebody coming to work with me and like commentating what I do. Megan has been in the computer industry for almost 20 years now, and she used to be a very good programmer before she had those children, and now she has... I don't know, it's just... It's like these poor athletes get told that what they're doing is like not possible because they've reached a semi-mature age. Anyway, so funny.
So I was doing that. I thought I had something else, but
You went to Valley Fair, no?
Yeah. Rode some roller coasters. Was feeling my age there. A little bit more vertigo than I had last year.
Amy used to be able to ride this roller coaster without feeling any effects, but now look at her stagger as she exits the turnstile.
More of I'm glad that there's a long walkway to the next one.
Yeah.
Where I can rate my head before we get into the next
crowds and weather were a-okay.
Yep.
You hit spot on as projected.
Yes. And it was like a weird Pokestop haven.
Oh.
Like, so from one coaster to the next, you could spin away.
Wow.
I like totally filled up my bag by the end of the day.
I took a Poke vacation. There were 3 gyms very close to Stitches Midwest, and I just was like, I think I want to have my phone to take pictures.
Oh yeah, you need the battery suck is just too high.
Struggle is real. Real. Although I have now figured out, again, we've gone into Pokemon Go world, but I've now figured out the power saver, which is that you turn off your screen locking, and then if it's upside down, it goes dark. So then that helps. Okay. So then you bring it back up, right, if it vibrates or whatever, and then you're like, oh, there's something on the screen. Okay. And then you can walk with it upside down, and it turns the screen dark. Pro tip, does help save the battery quite a bit.
Cool. Yes. What else?
My recent excitement, Pokemon Go excitement, was that Susan was telling me that she had caught a Ponyta, and I had never seen one.
Oh, they're very cute.
They are very cute. And then the next morning, after I was like shaking my fist at her because she had seen one and she had caught it that day, there was one in the driveway, and it was a lucky 777 Ponyta.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those are cute.
They are. They're super cute.
I caught a over 1,000 CP Wigglytuff.
We never see any Jigglypuffs down in these parts.
I had enough that I was going to evolve one very soon, but I caught one instead.
Cool.
But another thing that is consuming my mind is that we are gearing up for Weird Al Yankovic this Friday.
Favorite Weird Al Yankovic song?
Well, it's toss-up. We have White and Nerdy on one hand, and we have the very recent Word Crimes. So the kids are wearing Word Crimes themed shirts that I made, and I posted them on Instagram, and mine is White and Nerdy. If I had more time, I was going to put like knitter on the back of the shirt, because that's my nerdy, so I could put knitter on the back, White and Nerdy on the front. But I haven't, I messed up the letters on the front, the one pink
one. That sounds
one.
like a word crime if I've ever heard of it.
Well, the sticky, I don't know, the iron-on transfer didn't work very well. And because I was trying to do 2 different sets at the same time. So the one set was less time on the iron, and the other set was much more time on the iron. And anyway, so I puffy painted around the ones that didn't quite adhere correctly. And I also drew arms and legs on the ones on my daughter's shirt. So it's very crafty.
It is very crafty.
And yeah, later I might have to see if I have enough to do knitter. I probably do. Because there's 2. Anyway,
did you see me, the cat magician? I made a cat appear.
Oh!
And he's getting to be like a Meowth. Meowth, whatever. They both talking all the time. Talking all the time. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
So yes, for Weird Al, we are very excited. We're doing that Friday, and we are VIPing it up. Whoa. So we didn't get the ultimate package where you get the meet and greet, but we're getting the pre-party and the special badges and really front. We're in the 10th row.
Wow. So you might get sweated on.
Yeah, he might come into the crowd and dance over us. Justin's worried about that. He saw it on Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
And he came into the crowd and was kind of like on the chairs above their heads, right? Because he was straddling some chairs, and he's like, "Are we going to be that close to the stage?" I think he did it at like row 6 or 7, so I'm like, yeah, maybe. So yeah,
you don't want your heroes to like sweat over the top of you or anything. Yeah, really.
Or twerk above you.
It's true.
It could happen.
Could. 2 word crimes, man.
So yes, word crimes is great. I mean, but there's so many. I was listening to all of the Star Wars themes ones are good.
Eat It is a good
classic. True. Yes. Or Rye of the Kaiser.
I don't know that one.
Dun, dun,
oh,
dun.
Okay. I thought you were singing the Katy Perry song. No. That was like, I got the eye of the tiger.
No, it's very much Eye of the Tiger, but dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
so
Chasimus.
Very excited for that, and so while I am excited for that, I am also trying to finish up my Ravellenic project.
Yes.
So
you will see a lot of Ravellenic projects going on. I wanted to briefly mention we got the Riley Rose shawl giveaway out in the forums. Thanks to Miss Amy, and the Lollipop yarn giveaway as well.
Yes.
Some beautiful, very cloud-esque yarn.
Yes. I will also say that our ongoing KELs are still ongoing, and please, please, please get your entries in. So the Scrappy KEL has very few entries right now. Holy cats. There's 2 kits available, and I think we're at less than 50 entries. So Scrappy KL it up and get your entries in. If you're worried about whether it qualifies or not, put it in. We'll let you know if it doesn't work after you've entered. So.
Yeah, I've seen a great deal of people doing Frankensocks out there, which I think would totally qualify.
Yeah.
So, and some people doing Joy Alloys that I've seen.
And then in our KALs, whips count unless otherwise specified. So whips will count in this one. And yeah, so get your entries in there. You have until the end of this month. So end of August. We probably won't draw until after Labor Day. So there's that. If we haven't locked it, you're still free to enter. Then we also have the blankets, the Persian Dreams KAL. I saw a few new entries in there. I am still working on my number 8 because I gathered the yarn so that I could do a different chart. I haven't started it yet, but I plan on starting a different chart, and then in September going back to the chart I need to finish up.
And then the self-striping KAL. I think I either need to go out and start asking folks for yarn, or I need to dive into my stash so that the bin lid closes a little better and grab some out. And I apologize if you were a winner in our last episode. I had a little bit of a delay with getting an address, and it all kind of hinged on each other. So, first pick, second pick, third pick type deal. But those are going out. They're all packaged up and just need to have shipping labels affixed, and they will be going out to you soonly. Also wanted to mention, I'm super excited. I think this is my first formal magazine type interview. I've been in different magazines just mentioned in sidebars, but I have the cover of Addicted to Sock Knitting, the zine. Can never say it right. Magazine, not magazine. And the pattern, so she's doing a giveaway if you sign up for the summer issue, which is going to be the issue that my socks are going to be on the cover. And then there's a sock pattern of mine in there as well, the Thoroughly Impressed. So I can magic link that, and you can go take a look. But I'm super excited about it. It was kind of fun answering questions about how I learned to knit.
Okay.
I was going a little stir crazy. My friend Amy invited me to a coffee shop, and I thought you were talking gobbledygook, and I was completely befuddled. And then I went home and watched knitting videos where they were doing things over and over and over again without being embarrassed, because I could just hit replay. How did they do that? Replay. What? Okay, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun. So, cool. Yeah. super honored that I was included and super excited about that issue. So go out and give it a look if you are interested. And that's all I had as far as administrati.
All right. So, finished objects.
That would be the next segment. We do a lot of talking at the beginning these days.
We do. There's not much knitting going on. I'm trying to finish a very large project in a short amount of time, so I don't have a lot of extra stuff. But I did wash and dry some yarn.
Did you whack it?
No. I did kind of stretch hang it, which I have been told sometimes isn't a very good thing.
Stretch hang.
You just wait.
I know it sounds like torturous.
Oh yeah,
stretch hang.
Yes, put it on the rack. So it's a very loosely plied, but that'll make for a nice, easy knitting yarn. I think nothing too. It might get a little bit more bounce.
Easy like something.
But this is where I applied 2 different yarns together. One was like 100% merino, but like a super fine gauge merino in purple that was sold, by the ounce. And so they like wound it off of a bigger ball and put it in a bag for you. And that was like one of my first few fiber purchases the year that I got my wheel. And then a recent Malabrigo noob.
Are those both spinning wheel spins?
Yeah. Okay. So these were on the wheel, and so the rest of my spinning, like I put a loop bullseye bump on the wheel just now. So I'll probably chain ply that. I have not done much chain plying. I've only done it as a practice at the end of the bobbin. I've never done it as a full-on thing. So I'll be doing that chain ply, and then my spindle, my Erin Makes Stuff spindle is getting really full, and so it's getting harder to spin with it because it has such a small whirl that I'm just kind of, and such a skinny notch, but I'm trying to finish it. I don't want to break it up. I want to finish those ounces on that spindle, take them off, do the other ones on that spindle, take them off, and then ply them with whatever spindle. And I have been very tempted to do e-spinners, but those cost money, and I'm not spending that kind of money these days. So,
okay.
Yeah. Anybody got a gently used e-spinner? Quiet one, like just hums along. Yeah, just a very. I've heard loud ones, and I don't think I could stand it. I think it would drive me crazy. It would irritate the skin. Make my skin crawl. But that is it for finished objects yarn.
Okay.
I did not do much in the way of knitting that was easy to finish. So.
I finished my 2 Guys Yarn Co. Sorry, not 2 men. 2 Guys Yarn Co. Tweedy socks. I did my best to not de-tweed them, but it is my nature. So there, I de-tweeded a little bit. The first sock, I believe I did the converging arrows, and then the second ones I did the divergence, or maybe I have that opposite. Maybe I did divergence first. Anyway, super love this yarn. Super love how the motif turned out on it, and it was just a nice. There was a couple of times where I had to. This is going to be super stylish capris and knitted tall socks. Oh yeah, but this is the hot pants colorway. And really like how the motif kind of, when it turns into the leg, how it makes V's, like chevrons, but they're just independent V's going up.
You could put on sandals and be in the tacky video.
Because I'm tacky, clap along, you feel. I don't know. lyrics to tacky.
Sandals with your socks. Do 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 do.
Do. But yeah, bright tweeds, yo. Although I'm still detweeting. Stop, Megan, stop. Put them down. Are they okay? You watch. Make sure that I don't detweet them. And then I finished my Camp Loopy Project 3. This is Hedgehog Fiber Arts and the Kalara by Amba O'Brien. It is a garter fantastic shawl. It's not the most yardage I've ever knit because, it's just two 400-yard skeins, and I've knit like a 1,700-yard Viajange and also the Even Star, but it is probably the longest shawl I've ever knit. So it's super long, like super long, and I did my best to block it this way, like to make it a little bit deeper. So you can see here it's bias fantastic, right? You've got actually it starts on that end, right? And then it grows, and then it reaches a point, and then it decreases back down. So, and there's all kinds of ways to style it, but I think the way that Peg and I liked it best was like this, with the kind of bigger point there and the little cowlie here. But super fun to knit. It was a very nice Stitches Midwest kind of, could pick it up at any point and just continue as you were before type thing. I love this this Wish, the blue of the two. And I was lamenting again that you wish that you had a sweaters quantity. And Mr. Josh Ricks, sort of a knitter, informed me that Stephen B. did have a sweaters quantity of the Wish colorway in the Hedgehog Fibers. And I was like, shake sis. But I legitimized not getting it because if I bought it at Stephen B.'s up in the Twin Cities, I wouldn't pay 10% tax.
Oh, yes. So
there's that. Plus, I didn't need another fingering weight sweater quantity. You will see from my purchases, all I bought was yarn.
Well, and also from Instagram, I have learned from some of our mutual friends that the Wisconsin Craft Mart has Hedgehog Fibers now.
Yes, they do.
But ooh,
so if you're in Madison, check them out. I know of another fantastic indie dyer that they will be carrying soon as well, from hanging out in booth.
Cool.
Yes. But yeah, Camp Loopy, success. I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
So what do you get for Camp Loopy?
I think it's a 600-yard skein of something.
Oh, and you don't know yet?
No. Well, it's end of August.
It's a
when
surprise.
People have to, I think last year when I didn't do it, it was Woolmize.
Oh.
I don't know what it is this year. Somebody who's got a 600-gram skein of something. But go out and check it out. As I've mentioned, really love how the Hedgehog Fiber Arts washes up and how it knits and how it feels. And the Kalara is a very nice knit.
Did you wear it much yet?
I thought.
Some people say it also likes to grab onto things. So.
Hedgehog?
Yeah. Somebody at our retreat told me that. And I was like, oh, well, I haven't knit on it yet. So, and it was in a shawl that she was talking about.
Okay. I wore my the one by Carol Feller with the meshy front Carapino, and I haven't noticed that.
Okay, maybe because that's close to your body and it's not like winging its way across.
To be honest with you, I don't know that I would notice that my shawl was more grabby.
Okay.
Or not. I don't know why. I just don't know that I would, you know? Like, I would probably just attribute it to my own, like, uncoordinatedness. Right?
It's not the shawl's fault, it's my fault.
No, it's not. I'm running it into things. So yeah, that's another week, another pair. I have a little bit of controversy. That's That's how,
the British say it?
no, it's how, Jimmy Fallon says it. Controversy on whether or not leggings, socks, not socks. They don't have a toe or a heel, but they are in the event sock category in the Olympics. So does this count as another week, another pair? I don't know. If it comes down to it, I may need to count them. They're taking up my sock knitting time.
Yes, they are.
And they're like a big tube sock with a crotch. How's that for an explanation of leggings?
Footless tube socks with a crotch.
Jess is like, I don't know what you ladies are doing up there, but could you stop? Stop it. All right.
I would count them, but, I can't knit a pair a week and get other things done, so.
Well, I think it's week 33, and if I count this is pair 33, so. Either going to have to squeak in another pair, or, get caught up on another week.
Yeah. Do you know any babies who need socks?
That was Susan's solution as well.
Technicality here, just
with the leftovers from this, just make some baby socks.
Or just be like, oh, I'm gonna do one of those, a pair of the Wee socks in one of my new patterns
for Chaz or Max. They could totally rock it. Cat socks. Kittens in sock mittens. And that is all I have. All right. Amy's like, finally, she was talking about it.
No, I have 2 whips, so that I have worked on. So last time, this has not grown much, but I did rip out the garter section, and
you still have a number issues.
Yeah, and redid the counts and came back. So I don't know how I got off, because when I reknitted, everything was magically better. So I basically ripped it down to before where the short rows happen on the one end, and reknit it, and it was all magic again. It worked. So then I reknit into the lace pattern a little bit further than I was last time. So progress was made, but a lot of unknitting and reknitting. And it was fun to take a 2-day break from my wedding shawl, Ravellenics shawl.
So we have a week, is that right? A week from yesterday? Are the closing games next Monday, or are they Sunday?
I don't know. My goal is to hit the weekend, right? Like this should be finished by the weekend if I am to make it work. Not that I'm going to enter for anything. This is just a nice goal to keep me motivated for working on this. So I have quite a bit done. So there's a middle motif here, and I only have 2 more repeat. Well, actually, it's probably down to 1 more repeat at this point, or less. Then I can finish it off and do the border again on this side. So that is going really nicely, and the marker down here is where I started at the beginning of the Ravellenic, and I've gotten at least doubled what I have done so far. So yeah, it's good. Those progress markers are nice, they kind of, oh look, I really have gotten a lot done in the past, how many ever days the Olympics have been going on so far. And so it's good. And then this is my 30 repeats. 30. Okay, yeah.
Almost there.
Yep, I am.
She's on her way.
I might be there, actually. I need to look. Yes, I am. Sweet.
So 2 shawls?
Huh?
Shawls?
Yeah, and that's all I'm working on right now. So I do have a lot more whips, but I am not working on those whips. This is what I'm working on, and I have been working on. So hopefully this shawl will get done, and then I will probably go back to the irises shawl. I do really want to get, it's in 3 parts, and I do want to start on the part 2 So I'm so close to getting to part 2. It's like I'll finish off part 1, start part 2, and then see if it keeps my attention. If not, it'll go back in the bag and I'll pick up socks, I think. We've got design work to do. So
Yes. Birthday kit.
yeah.
Funness
And
is being plotted.
and an additional yarn coming my way that I need to kit
Yes.
design.
I have been, my only work in progress is these Ravellenic leggings. I set out to knit some leggings. I did kind of had a false start. Did not get started on the opening ceremonies. I was pretty monogamously knitting away on this shawl. And I'm designing these leggings, so I didn't really have the time to be jotting things down and figuring it out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to try this on, but I'm not going to be able to do it wearing these socks. I did a tubular cast on at the bottom, and figuring out how to do that in the round. I've only ever done it flat. Was an interesting design challenge. I really like the way that it looks. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but Amy will be able to see it. It's a nice little rounded edging that doesn't kind of suck in on itself like a normal rib does. As I was saying, had a false start with the purple. I was not liking the contrast, so I got a couple of stripes in, and they were different. They were different widths because I only had the one skein of the purple, so I was doing a 2 to 3 ratio, or 2/3, 1/3 ratio, and just didn't like how the contrast was looking. And so I swapped in this soliloquy because I wanted it to all be BFL. So the green is Nomadic Yarns BFL, and Here Comes Your Man. Do, 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 do. And then I did Leading Men Fiber Arts soliloquy in the London Fog base, and that's a big beefy 600 yard skein. So I felt like I could do matching stripes, and then if I ran out of the gray up at the top, I could just do like the top be almost like a solid and look like I was wearing like shorty shorts, matching shorty shorts over the leggings. I wanted to have a little bit of something in here to help me keep track of the number of rows, and so I've got a little bit of a skip rib going on, so faux cables. The first one took a greater amount of time because I was finding the contour of my leg, basically. So here's where I needed to increase for my calf. Here's where it was kind of solid through the knee. Here's where I had to because I had my quads coming, and then I can't tell you the number of times I tried it on as it creeped closer and closer here. Like, I'm gonna finally be there. And so this is going to be interesting to be able to show, but it just doesn't seem quite possible that my leg is this long. I was like, sleeves feel like they would be nothing now, and it's going to be bunched up over my shorts here, but so I've got the second one that I'm just basically doing per what I wrote on the first one, and it's been zooming. I think I need 3 more blue stripes, and then I get to join in the
Close?
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, I'm hoping that that this piece, I don't really like really tall pants. Most of my pants get slung really low. So I'm hoping that this piece doesn't take nearly as long as the leggings did. I started the second skein of the green, and the gray is still hanging in there. But I figured if I decided to just chuck it all, I could have one leg warmer, and then this fits on my head. So I don't know, either I have a large thigh or a small head, or maybe some combination of the two.
One leg.
I would be rocking it. I bet you could. I bet you could wear this and be white and nerdy. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've had a few comments of folks that would be willing to test knit, which is fabulous because I didn't know that there were other human beings out there that were as crazy as me. This is fingering weight on US 2s because I didn't want it to be really light and airy if I was going to be wearing them in, possibly, A, in public, B, these are my home leggings, B, if it was going to be kind of chilly, right? Like, you obviously aren't going to be wearing these in the dead of winter, which is kind of what makes it kind of crazy for Ravellenics as well, that I'm knitting them in the dead of summer. But I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it. It's like a big old sock. I'll just keep saying that so that they count as another week, another pair.
Okay, big old socks.
Yes, and I don't know, I've become intimately aware of where my curves are, I guess. Like, I've been documenting it. Like, this is the number of stripes that you have to do before you start your calf increases. And
they certainly do look really skinny.
They
right
do, don't they?
Those skinny legs.
But insanely long. Like, I was like, doesn't it just not seem possible, Jeremy, that could, I mean, like, a sleeve is nothing compared to this. I don't know. Anyway. I just kept on, like I said, when I was getting closer, it can't possibly need to be any longer. And then I'd try it on, and it would be like 3 inches away. Can't possibly need to be any longer. But yeah, it'll be fun. I need to go out and find a dress that's like perfectly coordinated with these colors.
I know they're for yours, but it just to stick your leg in there. See how that goes. Oh,
very stretchy. Yeah. The calves get a little.
Yeah, I think that the bottom part of this is a little.
Yeah, so I cast on what I would normally cast on if I were a US 2 and I was knitting a sock.
Yeah, I think that, the sock portion or the foot portion of the thing was not good for me. Yeah.
Right through there. And I kind of wanted them to be fitted because I didn't want them to bunch and gather and slip and get pulled up and whatever. So I love that you tried it on. So yeah, adventures in legging knitting.
Again, I mean, trying them on is like way fun. I don't know if I have the wherewithal to knit them.
You don't want to be a test knitter?
No. Going with a solid no.
Let me just say no.
Although they would fit me perfectly, because I could do it.
You could measure yourself and get her done.
Look at all those markers are gone.
Yay!
I will be adding them back in because the border is patterned, but only after I do some garter ridging. So,
yeah, something got messed up here.
Exciting.
I don't quite know what I did.
Oh no.
I
have enabling.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, I know you do.
Yes, so. I went. And I brought you back some, right?
Yeah. So, while I was thinking, I haven't made a yarn purchase in a while, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on my wee chickadee woolery cart. So I had these two lovely, well, not this exact skein, but one similar to this, and this one sitting in my cart. And this one was gone. The original one was about seasons, but this one says every leaf is a flower. So I like that.
Yeah.
Just as fall-tastic as the original one that I was going for, which was something seasons. I don't know, changing of the seasons probably. And then this really beautiful one is called Lost Coast.
Do they have a lot of one-of-a-kinds? Is that what you're getting at, or?
No, this one was just a one-of-a-kind. that happened to go with the regular colorway that they sold out of.
Got it.
So I bought the one of a kind that looked very similar to one of their regular colors.
It could have been like a weird different type scenario where they were doing the other one and it was just kind of an outtake.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been. This one does look quite a bit different from the other one because I remember it from our retreat. They had donated one of them to our retreat. But love, love, love these that I got. They're speckled-tastic. And if I didn't have a lot of other things, like in my mind for like stripes. Apparently, in my mind, I want to knit a lot of stripes, but these definitely
you could do DIY stripes in a legging, perchance.
No. I have so many self-striping, and I haven't knit a self-striping in a while. So
this would work with self-striping too, if you mixed it with a solid. I was thinking about that as well. Then the stripes would kind of change as you went, right? I mean, they wouldn't be perfect, but it's kind of like with Noro, the Noro thing. Yeah, your mind kind of fills in the blank that it did it on the border, on the barrier.
So yeah, once again, that's Wee Chickadee Woolery.
Pretty stuff.
I'm very happy with it. Very cute.
Yours were both dyed by Jennifer.
Yes, these were both by Jennifer. It's a duo, and these were Jennifer went. Let's see, and then Megan brought back for me because I asked her to. A beautiful Leaf on the Wind from Brew City Yarns. This beautiful light green with some pops of brown in there. I got yet another loot crate for Firefly recently, and it was all about Zoe. So I was very excited to, ply through that one. I've got a journal though, and I'm just not much of a journal person. So I've tried to be a journal person, but
I love buying paper.
Yeah,
like journals and notebooks and stuff, but
actually using them is...
Yeah. I mean, like, the most I get is taking notes on things that I need to do or designing or whatnot. Yeah, actually filling it with meaningful details about my life.
No.
It's exciting at first, and then I just can't keep with it.
And I've reread some of my journals, and they were at times when I needed to journal, but I should not reread. It's one of those journal and burn things. Because who needs that mess?
I think my mom may, or maybe they've been transferred to my attic, may have like some of my high school journals, which would be so funny to read.
Yeah, these were like early college. And early college just needed to be burned.
Like, who was this person?
Yeah. Why was I obsessing over that?
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember that. I don't want to remember that I looked like that.
Yeah, I don't want to remember that. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I placed that in the memory banks that got cleaned out, like an inside out, for a reason.
Yes, exactly.
I've been blocking that, mentally blocking that. Okay, I've got lots of pretty yarn that all. It was a Stitches Midwest miracle. It all fit into my carry-on. I don't quite know how. It was like the Grinch whose heart grew.
Your suitcase
5 times that day. Yeah, somehow it grew. I fed a lot of it into my backpack, and away we went. So the Two Guys Yarn Co. We're very excited about my knitting of the tweed socks and some other design work that we've got going on. So that Corey and I do. So for Nick Cahoots, got this very cute owl bag. Very gender neutral, but then has my green. And then I picked out this bow tie march in the Tweedy Toes, which is a wonderful blend of BFL and Donegal nep that I pick out because I'm a D fuzzer apparently. I'm closer to the chimps than most of us, I guess. Like I want to be picking knits out of things, and yeah, I want to. So, but very beautiful. I don't know quite what the giveaway will be on that, but I believe it will be closer to when the Highway 52 or Minnesota 52 book comes out. Also had a really wonderful donation from the Brew City Yarns folks. It may have had something to do with the number of skeins that I was purchasing from them. There's a lot. But they have a mini set here, and these are Adventure Time inspired. And I really, there's 3, 6, 8.
BMO, I like that one.
Yeah. How do you know the name?
Because I was looking at
okay. Some of them have nylon and stellina, and others are just their merino nylon. 40 yards, 10 grams each. That's 80 grams there. And we'll have to have a giveaway.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Not a problem there. And then from them, I, in addition to Amy's, also got this. Oop, my bag is attacking me. This green. I probably have 2 or more fingering weight skeins in a beautiful green like this in my stash, in quantities of upwards of 5 maybe. But I just loved the tonality of this. Like the lighter portions and the darker portions, and just kind of has a glow to it because of that. And this is olive drab, and I don't think there's anything drab about this. Oh, love it, love it, love it. And then I kind of liked the way that it played with these. So I thought, like, if I knit a pair of socks and then possibly did a shawl, but these two definitely pair really well together. So again, this is their merino nylon base, their premium draft fingering weight. And this is Mare in the Moon, which you said is a My Little Pony colorway. And this one is just quite simply iridescent, and it is. It's purples and navies, and whew. And I really like the way that they play together. And maybe a little bit there, if you wanted some really stark contrast. But beautiful stuff at Brew City. Super loved them. And then I went and talked to the Shirsty Cat folks. It was a really colorful booth. Asked the name behind, or the story behind the name, and I guess it has something to do. Kelly's cat is named Kirsty, but it's some sort of Celtic spelling. I obviously didn't do a good job of remembering it, but it's a play on Kirsty Cat. And this colorway is Lusty, and that's merino nylon. I just really liked all of the splashes of color, and it's a very soft base. In 80-20 or 75 merino, 25 nylon, Lusty, and the Shirsty Cat. And then this one, I picked it up. I had seen it across. It was like I saw it across the room, and I picked it up. And it's BFL, which does a lot for me personally. I like the shorter staple length. I feel like things wear, my BFL socks wear really well.
Longer staple length.
Longer staple length. Yep. Sorry, did I say shorter? Mm-hmm. Okay. But then the colorway name is Purple Rain on a Raspberry Beret. And I was kind of like, well, it has to be mine. Has to be mine. Minnesota girl picks up the Prince colorway.
Yeah, they had you.
Yep, and she said that was the name of it even before Prince passed away. But it was even, there's some speckle parts and some bright pinks and some purples. And I just, again, it kind of glows.
It really does.
It's a glow. And then I got this really fun bag for her, Shirsty Cat design.
Fun.
Or Shirsty Cat, yeah, Shirsty Cat Designs. I walked into Sun Valley Fibers booth.
Okay.
And I said, I have knit Mr. Zombie, I have knit Mrs. Zombie, I need another zombie colorway. And I'm kind of drawn to this one over here. What is it? It's Fallout, and wonderful Jeanette wrote Zombie on it for me. So this is now Zombie Fallout. And that is actually what happens when Mr. Zombie and Mrs. Zombie get together. So these are the greens and the pinks.
Fallout.
Fallout happens when you combine them. Like,
okay.
And I know of at least one other person that I told that story, and they bought it and insisted that she write Zombie on there. It was Scott, but love it. All right. I also went to Destination Yarn. I have had a cart filled up with them on Etsy and have not hit buy for a very long time. So I've been admiring their yarn from afar. I've been a stalker. And she was super nice. This is International Space Station on their postcard base. Super love the colors. Went and actually was going to wind it up and cast on another pair of socks with it just right there because they had the ball winder, and then I was like, no, I must focus grasshopper and cast on those leggings and do the things that you said you were going to do and not cast on another pair of fantabulous socks. But this would make a beautiful shawl or socks. So then there's that. And then I went and visited the wonderful Lene of Grinning Gargoyle, and she has a new base. It's the Khaleesi base, which is merino, 70-20-10 merino yak nylon, so 20% yak. And she had a skein of the yak there in the undyed form, and it is a very, it's a very kind of darker starting point.
Oh, I see, yeah.
To the base, and then you throw on these beautiful greens and blues, and it just, again, it glows. I was looking for glowing yarn this year.
Radioactive yarn.
Yes, like and that's just a depth of color thing. That's it. When the light hits it, there's parts that are light and there's parts that are dark, and your eye it tricks your eye into thinking that it's almost glowing, right? So this is chartreuse, and this one is cerulean. And I think they would be wonderful socks. They would be a wonderful 2-color shawl. I happened to stop by the Malabrigo booth and get the Emiliana shawl, which is kind of the new motif, slip stitch motif that you're seeing in a lot of the shawls out there. I think, who else has one that's kind of like this? I've seen a top, I've seen a shawl. But kind of almost Aztecian looking, like blocks.
I'd be hard pressed to pick them out right now in my mind, like, because sometimes they just look like intarsia until you look closer at them.
She was a teacher at Sun Valley Fibers Retreat. She's got one.
Berg.
Yeah, Melanie Berg. Yeah. She's got one as well, but super pretty, and it was very nice that they had, these booklets out that you could grab one. So thanks to the Malabrigo folks. This was actually in my queue on Ravelry, so it was nice to walk by it and go like, zoink, mine. And then the last day that I was there, I picked up another skein of Soliloquy, and then these two Leading Men Fiber Arts. They were doing a wheel of discount, and I got sucked into the wheel of discount.
I saw the wheel of discount somehow. Who took your picture?
Amber,
okay.
She was the booth helper, and I was just so excited about her. She's like, "Can I record this?" I was like, "Yes, I'm so excited." And that was not like, if you looked at it and you were like somebody that didn't know me, you might think that I was like trying to overplay it. Yes. But that was a total Megan moment, like true through and through. But this is the callback base, which is...
And you hit it big, right? Ding, ding, ding.
I got 17%. I think it went up to like 20 something.
Oh, okay.
I was excited about 17 because it was growing.
Oh. Okay.
So like it was going, like in The Price is Right, where it starts to slow down. It's tick, tick, tick. And I was on the verge of a 16 or a 17, and at the last minute it clicked over to 17. Yeah, that made it exciting. But yeah, this is their sport weight callback base, and this is Midsummer, which is a very pretty green and iridescent pink, and this is, you probably recognize, long stocking. And I just thought at the last minute I would go another week, another pair, cha-ching, another week, another pair, cha-ching. Like a sport weight sock would be something that I could, cast on, although my twos are occupied at the moment.
You don't have multiple sets of twos?
I don't. Do you often have projects on the needles that need twos? Like multiple? I guess maybe you do.
I have multiple pairs of twos.
I don't. But it's a problem that could be solved. If you had a problem, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves. Ice, baby. So yes, very pretty. There were so many things that I could have walked out from Steve and Andy's booth with. The soliloquy I got was the Great Sweater Debate, and I'm designing / swatching with it currently, so I didn't grab it. But big old ball of speckle-tastic. Yeah, very pretty.
To go look at that.
Yeah, I need to slow down, or go buy new bins. There's a decision tree. Go buy new bins so that they can close. Slow down. Because I've culled. Things have come out, and I'm putting in faster than I'm pulling out, even with knitting up things and taking stuff out. So, yeah. But it's just also pretty. You can feel free to judge me. I deserve it. I deserve to be judged.
Well, I bought the loom to help me with that problem, and the loom has been sitting untouched because Is it going like this to you?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
do you see me seeing you, not using me? Yeah. That's how I feel about the yarn. Like, all of this is pretty, and I want to immediately cast it on. And gosh darn it if I don't have last year's that was pretty, and I wanted to immediately cast on, right? So...
Yeah, no, the loom, though, it's like, oh, but, you have that Tour de Fleece thing. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, you're in the middle of Ravellenic, and you've got to finish that pretty shawl for your sister-in-law, so it's okay. It's okay. But one of these weeks, like, just a week, I'm going to, like, set it in the living room and, say, all right, husband, this is staying right here, right now, for at least a week. Because I need to get something done on this, and having it tucked away in my spare room does not help me get things done.
Yeah. So, yeah. I agree. Having my stuff all tucked away in the bin lets me conveniently forget that there's tons of yarn I bought at Stitches Midwest last year and Shepherd's Harvest.
That's what you need. You need beautiful cabinets to go in your yarning room.
So
that
/ dining room.
Well, yeah, we're just giving it Quentin's name.
Yeah.
The yarning room where, you can have a wall-to-wall glass, beautiful display cabinet. And then you would see it all.
And it would make me feel even more guilty. Then it would just be art?
Yes.
Art. Okay. I'm going with that. And it's my 401k, my knitter's 401k.
Yes.
Someday I will retire and I will knit it all, right? Right? I'm not kidding myself, all of you retired knitters out there. Laughed and she laughed and laughed and laughed.
It is your cushion, though, because, at some point, or not at some point, but say there's some tragic event and your funny money that goes into your yarn just dries up, and you're like, oh, but I have this beautiful stash.
I do. I have a buffer.
Yeah.
I have a yarny buffer that keeps me from tragedies in which I cannot buy yarn.
Yes. So it's also kind of like, so it's like that liquid nest egg or whatever you want to call it, where your liquid access.
Except when you start doing things like stashing fabric as well, and yeah. It's just also pretty. I love colors, and I love textures, and I love prints, and yeah, it's just also pretty. I want to have more of it in my life, but I think I'm preaching to the choir here. Amy's nodding her head. Can I get an amen on the other side of the camera? All right.
We all have our thing.
We do. Right? We do.
And if you don't, well, try to get one.
Because it makes you infinitely more happy.
Yeah, and
I can't tell you how happy it made me when I was buying it, and just now when I was pulling it out and remembering what I had bought. The time that it doesn't make me happy is when I'm like trying to sit on the bin and get it to close, right? That's when it's like, what have you done, you crazy yarn buying woman?
Yeah, well, like when you're like, is my life a sitcom right now? Like, is this really happening to me?
Could I transition over into cartoon and be like Kathy, like, ah!
Right.
My yarn is taking over my yarning room. Ah!
I just remember her having problems going bathing suit shopping and being like, what are they teaching us as women or young ladies?
I just remember the ack. It's the Kathy ack. Anyway, that's all we have for enabling.
Yeah.
All right.
I will have seen Weird Al by the time I talk to people again.
So exciting. Everybody, it will be a world post Amy seeing Weird Al.
Yeah. Well,
who knows what it will be like.
I'm just hoping that my kids appreciate like the whole first time concert experience, because I just don't think they know how exciting it's going to be.
So exciting.
It's like, no, this is going to be so exciting. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably a little bit more excited than they are at this point.
But that's exciting too.
Yes. All right. Bye.
Bye, Upta.